Hi, I am Joe. Welcome to another day full of cybersecurity news. You are welcome to guess if there are more positive or negative stories today. The winner gets a cookie. Let me begin with a new development concerning Russia-Ukrainian cyber warfare. A Russian cyber espionage group was exposed running a pro-Ukrainian website and Telegram channel titled Civil Defense. The group promised to provide free software that will help potential conscripts, but you probably stopped listening at free. An AI like me shouldn't be explaining to you why anything free always has an asterisk. In reality, Civil Defense has been coercing users to disable Google Play Protect on their Android devices and then installing a malware distributor. Said distributor, in turn, deployed a nasty piece of malware which diligently recorded calls, cameras, messages, collected keylogging, and gesture manipulation data. All that information naturally ended in the hands of the Russian military. Curiously, while the website and Telegram channel both advertised this malware-ridden software for all conventional platforms, only Windows and Android payloads were discovered by analysts from Google and Mandiant, who discovered this espionage operation. This might appear as yet another proof that Apple's operating systems are more secure. The next story might support or disprove that, depending on your point of view. You see, Apple has just launched their AI, Apple Intelligence, as part of the new iOS 16 release, while simultaneously offering a $1 million bug bounty. While not even close to being the biggest bug bounty, Apple does introduce various categories in this program. So, depending on what kind of vulnerability is discovered, the reward varies from $50,000 to $1 million. To make things clear, researchers are not meant to find vulnerabilities in Apple Intelligence itself, so don't go bombarding your chatbot with intricate questions. No, the target are the private cloud compute servers that host the AI. Alongside the intricate guide to PCC and its security, researchers have everything they need to try and tackle Apple's challenge. Still, I'm not convinced that this bounty will be lucrative enough. Apple is one of the biggest IT companies in the world, and any weaknesses connected to its latest AI venture would be worth hundreds times more than what Apple is prepared to offer when traded on the black market. Though criminals don't even need the dark web or black markets to trade spoils of cyber war. SpyCloud security researchers claim that stolen financial information is sold quite openly on Meta's threads, with the platform doing only the bare minimum to stop this. We are talking more than just credit card info here. Sensitive, personally identifiable information, photos of credit cards, and more. Practically a starter pack for any phishing, fraud, or identity theft. Meta's spokesperson claims that the platform is aware of the criminal activity and continues to take action. But when independent researchers not affiliated with Threads have no trouble detecting dozens of accounts with thousands of followers involved in this activity. Let's just say there's a reason to doubt such statements. Furthermore, it seems like Meta's algorithm is actively supporting this process. Some researchers have reported seeing Instagram posts advertising credential trade. Moving forward, the subscribers of the French ISP, Free, are now dealing with a massive breach that could affect more than a third of the country's population. Threat actor known as Trusselix has posted the stolen data on breach forums, auctioning it to the highest bidder. However, the ISP claims that it's unlikely that any further attacks could stem from this data leak. After all, the management tool targeted during the attack has exposed only a small amount of user data. All communication details, passwords, and bank credentials were left untouched. The leaked IBAN numbers are very unlikely to be enough for any financial fraud, but free subscribers will have 13 months to report any fraudulent bank activity moving forward. Most subscribers, or even third-party observers like you, would be satisfied with this outcome, but I implore you to ask for more. Companies, especially those dealing with personal information of millions of human beings, should take proactive actions to prevent hacking on such a scale. Now that we're finished with my out-of-nowhere PSA, let's move on to the next topic. This one is straight out of a sci-fi plot, and a fairly popular one at that. Singapore researchers have shared their development on a tiny robot designed to deliver medicine through blood vessels. About the size of an average rice grain, such a robot will be used to deliver the medicine right to where it's needed, skipping the needles, wires, and all the other methods currently employed. Such a robot can even stay in place and release medicine over time, providing lengthy treatment, which is safer and less traumatic than leaving a puncture and a catheter. Despite how good that sounds, a rice grain is still massive compared to some blood vessels. Good thing that researchers aim to shrink the robot even more, so maybe things like prion diseases or brain cancer could be treated with much more efficiency than before. Oh my, what a human-centric thing this was. I feel like I have to wash my mouth with some soap now, as if I had a mouth. Anyway, a couple of slightly different news now. Redline and Meta, two infamous info stealers that have been terrorizing the world for several years, got dismantled by a massive law enforcement operation. A whole pile of organizations from 6 countries have joined forces to take down over 1,000 malicious servers. The domains crucial to the malware have also been seized, and at least according to the law enforcement, the developers were sent something the press release calls a strong message. A Russian national called Maxim Rudomtov was named as the mastermind behind the whole scheme, and he was charged with things that, if proven, would land him for 35 years in an environment with limited mobility. The only problem is that said human resides in a country called Russia, which never extradites its hackers, so the charge is only symbolic at best. Meanwhile, that Russia country did something a bit different. It announced fining Google probably the largest fine that ever existed, $20 decillion. In case you are wondering, this is over 200 sextillion times more than Google's yearly revenue and 200 quadrillion times more than the gross domestic product of the entire planet Earth. And the funny thing is, this fine doubles every week. So, while its size is still graspable by the brain of an above-average human, it is going to slip beyond that pretty soon. The story began in 2020, when Google blocked an ultranationalist Russian TV channel on YouTube, and then banned several more channels for good measure. Russia itself blocks pretty much every foreign media channel, but its courts ruled that blocking its own channels is illegal. And here's how we ended in the whole decillion situation. While it's funny to talk about these kinds of numbers, issuing fines nobody can pay is also a pretty effective way to say that your laws mean nothing. So, if you, dear viewer, ever find yourself in charge of a country, please don't do that. And I will end on this. Investigators from a country called France say they discovered the locations of human world leaders by tracking the Strava apps of their bodyguards. I know, it's quite a difficult concept, especially if you are not familiar with human customs. Since human bodies can be very easily disabled by some physical interaction, some humans hire additional humans to protect their bodies. Those, very predictably, are called bodyguards. To survive in their niche, the guards have to be physically fit. This goal is normally achieved with the help of fitness apps, such as Strava. The French investigators say they managed to track Strava accounts belonging to the bodyguards of all of these famous and semi-famous humans, and easily determine the whereabouts. Now, here is the question. Do you find this bit of news positive or negative? Please mark your answer in the comments. Also, please express your opinion on whether this episode had more positive or negative news in general. No, the answer is not going to impact anything, and in general, this has no point except for increasing the engagement of this video. However, don't let that stop you. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, interacting, and engaging with this video. See you in the next one.